Hey everybody, this is Wendy at the Broken Needle Quilt Shop in Bunn, North Carolina. Today I have a new tutorial for you guys, but first I'd like to ask if you're enjoying our videos to please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so that you can be reminded of future videos. If you have any questions at all about the tutorial, please leave them in the comment section below. With Valentine's Day just around the corner, I thought it'd be a great time to make a nice set of placemats and napkins for a nice romantic dinner at home with my husband. And you can too in just a few minutes. We're going to start with the placemat, and the finished size of the placemat is 14 inches by 20 inches. The cutting instructions for the placemat are two 1.5 inch strips by width of fabric for the border, and one 12.5 inch by 18.5 inch piece for the center. You'll also need backing and batting cut at 14.5 inches by 20.5 inches. I'm going to take my first strip and place it right here along the edge. You can pin this if you want to, but you know I'm not going to. And then I'm going to sew about 1/4 inch down. Now I need to turn it around, and we're going to take the second strip and line it up and sew down again. Now we need to take it over to the cutting table and trim it. Now we need to trim these off. And these now are going to be our top border pieces. Now if we need to set our seam, you just need to press and then open it up. And now that we have both sides pressed, we're going to go back to the sewing machine and put on our top and bottom border. Now we need to do this again. We're going to line up our strip right with the edge here of our placemat and sew down. Obviously, we need to do the same thing and trim our borders. So line up our ruler and trim. Okay, now we need to set our seam. And press this open. Moving right along. Place your batting on the bottom. And then your backing is right side up and your placemat top will be right side down. So these will be right sides together. And then we're going to go to the sewing machine and we're going to sew 1/4 inch around, but make sure to leave it opening right here on the side about 3 or 4 inches for turning right side out. Okay, I'm going to start sewing about 1/4 inch, and don't forget to back stitch when you start, and also we want to make sure we use that 3 to 4 inch leave a 3 to 4 inch opening for turning right side out. Now if you've had any shift in your batting at the while you're sewing, then you just need to trim that off. It's no big deal. And also I like to trim off my corners just to reduce the bulk. Now we need to turn it right side out, and don't turn it from the batting here. We want to turn it from the two pieces, the top and your backing. Make sure you turn it out from this part. Now we need to close up this hole here. I'm going to turn this in on itself. And now I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew 1/8 of an inch here just to sew up the hole. Now I'm going to top stitch all the way around right in the ditch. Now that we've top stitched our placemat, we need to do some quilting on it, and you can use your walking foot and do straight line stitching, or you can do free motion quilting, but I've decided to use my Westerly ruler work templates, and I'm choosing the heart template, and as you can see, I've made 2 hearts for me and the hubby. Now for the napkins. I'm using a square piece of fabric that I've cut 20 by 20. So let's go to the sewing machine. Now one thing, you do want to start our napkins on the non-bias side of your fabric. See, it's not stretchy here when I pull on it. This is the side we want to start with. Over here on this section, on this corner, it's the stretchy side. And if you start here, your square may turn into something kind of wonky, and we don't want to do that. We want to start with our non-bias side. Now to begin, you just take the edge of your fabric and you turn it in a little bit. There's no exact measurement for it. I mean, you can do 1/4 of an inch or 3/8 of an inch. You turn it in once and then turn it once again and hold your finger right here, and it starts to already curve in on itself down here. And as you notice, if I pull it tight, it lays down right where we want it to sew. So we're going to sew right 1/8 of an inch on the edge here. We want to stay close to the edge, and then when you get here, you see we need to turn it again. We turn it again and pull, and you'll see it starts to lay down flat again. And keep doing this all the way down. Just keep rolling it a little bit, stop if you need to, and then pull, and you see how it lays flat. And like I said, we're sewing right along the little edge there. This is a napkin. We're going to wipe our lips on it, so it doesn't matter if it's a little bit off. We're almost to the edge, corner here. And now, since we're almost there, we want to turn it up on itself. We're going to roll it up here once and then roll it up again. And when we get to this corner, we're going to stop. Right there. Now we're stopped right here in the corner, and I like to use a stiletto. This is really helpful. It has a little point here. We need to pivot. And my stiletto helps me, because when I start to sew again, I'm going to need to push this with the stiletto to get it going again. But you see it's already It's starting to curl on itself again. And keep rolling that around, and we're going to keep doing this all the way around, and at the very end, make sure you back stitch. We need to back stitch to make sure that we lock our corner down. So to start off, this is why the stiletto is helpful too. We go back a couple of stitches, and then we're going to go forward, and I need to push this to get it started, and there we go. And we're off. Continue sewing all the way around. When we did our back stitch, it caught the corner here, so now it's not flying up. It's all closed in. Ta-da! Romantic dinner setting complete.